Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud and DevOps with James Cook. Today I will be taking a look at the recently announced GitHub certifications which were made available publicly last week. I will give you an overview of the certifications, available learning material, and give you my early opinion on who these certifications are suitable for. But before we get started, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit a like and leave a comment. So GitHub has released 4 new certifications. They have never had certifications in their history, and this is what they've done. They've released this originally to the partner network. So some companies have had access to this and some people are already certified. What we're seeing is we're looking at a GitHub Foundations certification, as well as a GitHub Actions, a GitHub Advanced Security, and GitHub Admin certification. We are seeing the Foundation obviously is the entry level. Then we move on to the GitHub Actions as well as the Advanced Security and Admin. The Foundation seems to be anyone that's using GitHub, and then it moves on to more of a security perspective of individuals who are managing the GitHub security side. Then the GitHub Actions, which are more focused towards developers, and then finally GitHub Admins, which are look like to be operational users who are managing the day-to-day platform of GitHub in regards to user management and configurations and setup. The GitHub Foundations exam has 551 minutes of learning material available free of charge on the Microsoft Learn website, as well as the GitHub Actions, which has 279 minutes of content, 325 minutes for the Advanced Security, and 357 minutes for the GitHub Admin certification. So we're looking at a total of 25.2 hours worth of free content from Microsoft Learn, which is brilliant for a certification. Each certification originally listed as $200 per exam, but because of some backlash from the community, GitHub heard, listened, and quickly turn around that pricing and went from $200 down to $99 per exam, and for a limited time only 50% off on the foundation exam, costing $44.50. So that is a great advantage if you want to look at taking the foundation exam, but you need to get in there as soon as possible because that offer is limited. I'm not sure what the time was on there, but it was $44.50 with the 50% on there, and then all the other exams are $99 per exam, which is more affordable, more realistic, especially when we're not sure yet what these certifications will impact in regards to career progress, and companies asking for these certifications. We'll have to see how the market reacts to these certifications. So $99 per exam price is reasonable. And now we are on the GitHub Resources website where they are announcing the certifications. So we're just going to quickly dive into it. We've already seen from GitHub's website that 4 organizations have adopted this. So that's KPMG, HashiCorp, Infosys, and Microsoft. It's no surprise Microsoft would adopt this because GitHub is owned by Microsoft, but the other organizations already having adopted this certification is pretty substantial. Like I say, we have the first certification that I mentioned, GitHub Foundations, more of an entry level. If you've been using GitHub products here for a while, great. If we click on the link, it will take you to the learning material in Microsoft Learn. So what we expect to learn: GitHub, GitHub products, GitHub Copilot, code with GitHub code spaces, GitHub projects, how to manage that, communicate effectively on GitHub using Markdown, contribute to an open source project on GitHub, manage inner source program by using GitHub, securing repositories by using GitHub best practices, introduction to GitHub Administration, as well as user identities on GitHub, repository changes by using pull requests on GitHub, and search and organize repository history by using GitHub. So this is the learning content that GitHub wants you to learn as part of our certification. We are probably looking at very entry level. Git is outside of GitHub, so it is a entry level point here that GitHub thinks that people should know at least the introduction side of it. And then each module looks to be focused on their core features of how GitHub it comes together, especially the open source, how to contribute to open source. So they are focusing, even though these certifications may be suitable for enterprise, but they also want enterprise individuals who are learning the certification to understand what open source is and how to contribute to it, which is a fundamental part of how things work nowadays in the tech industry, as well as basic admin. So this certification does look really good in regards to getting everybody on the baseline on how to use GitHub. Very welcomed, and like I say, it's targeted at anybody, it seems. Then we've got GitHub Actions. The statement here: certify your proficiency in automating workflow and accelerating development with GitHub Actions. Test your skills in streamlining workflows, automating tasks, and optimizing software pipelines, including CI/CD, all within customizable workflows. So I expect this all to be focused on CI/CD, GitHub's Actions. And if you haven't used GitHub Actions, it's pretty similar to products like Azure DevOps, Jenkins, Octopus Deploy. They're quite similar. GitHub Actions is got no GUI in regards to designing a pipeline. It's all YAML based. So what we're expecting in these modules, which we're going to quickly run through because there's not many. Automate development tasks by using GitHub Actions. Build continuous integration workflows by GitHub Actions. Leverage GitHub Actions to publish to GitHub packages. Create and publish custom GitHub Actions. Build and deploy applications to Azure by using GitHub Actions. And this is quite a particular one that may not please some individuals. A module that is focused on one particular cloud provider, build and deploy applications to Azure. So even though it will work in the same way as the AWS and Google Cloud, why is it linked to a particular cloud provider may infuriate some people, but as long as you take a module and learn how to do it, it's fine. And again, we've got to remember is GitHub is owned by Microsoft. The learning material is on Microsoft Learn. So when choosing a build and deployment pipeline, it's going to be on Azure, no surprise. And manage GitHub Actions in the enterprise. So this is very focused, like I say, on GitHub Actions, how to build and deploy using pipelines. You will learn how it works, and I think this is more targeted on DevOps engineers as well as developers, platform engineers. So the technical operational side of delivering from code to the end product. GitHub Advanced Security. So highlight your code security knowledge with the GitHub Advanced Security certification. Validate your expertise in vulnerability identification, workflow security, and robust security implementation, evaluating software integrity standards. So what we're looking at in this one is going to be around security. So GitHub has a product called GitHub Advanced Security. It does code scanning, and platform scanning in regards to your GitHub, for identity purposes, seeing if there's anything out of the ordinary. It tells you about vulnerabilities in code. So when a dependency becomes vulnerable because the version on it has a vulnerability on it, it will alert you and start doing special things. And this is what this module will tell you about. So we've got the introduction, we've got the dependable. So like I say, dependable is that dependency feature where it would alert you when a version's out of date, but no point me going through it now. We'll go through it on another video. Configure and use secret scanning. So that's a great security feature. Code scanning, how to configure it, identify security vulnerabilities in your code base. Code scanning with GitHub Code QL, GitHub Administration, GitHub Administration for GitHub Advanced Security, and manage sensitive data and security policies within GitHub. I think this is more targeted at security ops or dev leaders who are setting up their security postures in companies. Even though I believe this would be beneficial for developers to learn and understand, I think regards to the certification side of things, security and again, DevOps platform engineers would benefit from this. But again, dev leads who are managing or securing their GitHub platforms from that back end. And finally, the GitHub Administration. So certify your ability to optimize and manage a healthy GitHub environment with the GitHub Admin exam. Highlight your expertise in repository management, workflow optimization, and efficient collaboration to support successful projects on GitHub. I feel this one, again, is for more managerial dev leads, but again, beneficial for anyone else who wants to take the exam. Let's load up the modules. So we've got our introduction again, introduction to GitHub products, maintain secure repositories, best practices, managing sensitive data and security policies, authenticate unauthorized using user identities, administration for enterprise support and adoption, GitHub Actions in the enterprise, and leverage GitHub Actions to publish to GitHub packages. Very focused on the management side as per the certification. Expectations as is an administration certification. I do expect that developers would probably not see much of this. So would DevOps engineers in some ways. The same thing with platform engineers. I think this is more a engineering management, ops security type module certification. But again, all four of these certifications will suit any developer or above, or DevOps engineer, any type of engineer, any type of management learning from this. It's really handy to understand GitHub. What we have is Microsoft also has provided some guidance in regards to what to expect in the exam. So you can download the study guides. So if I click on this one, for example, we have the listed objective domain. So we got, and it pairs up with the MS Learn material. So you got your introduction to Git and GitHub, project management, modern development, privacy and security administration, benefits of GitHub community. It all fits with the modules that Microsoft Learn is pointing to in regards to learning material. It tells you to use the Microsoft Learn content. There's also LinkedIn Learning. So they have 9 hours and 80 minutes of content, 7 items, and it's all video based. So this would be handy. I still think the Microsoft Learn content would be very valuable if you do have access to Microsoft Learn, LinkedIn Learning. Please have a look at that as well. But I think the Microsoft Learn might be enough until I take it. I won't comment further on now. And then, yes, it will then go through each individual main module and into detail what it's expecting you to know. So this can be a checklist if you can and can't do things, so you know if you're ready for the exam. So if you can describe version control, if you can describe gear, can you define a remote in a Git terminology. So you got all this in every module. So this becomes handy. So that's one domain. So this is a domain with a module with its what it expects you to understand, and then there's another domain, and then another domain, and it goes on from there. And so there's a total of 7 domains, multiple modules, and expectations of what you should be able to know or do as part of this exam. So that's available for all 4, and I would recommend downloading that if you're going to take the certification, going through it and checklisting each bit. If you are confident, if you're not confident, then look up on the Microsoft Learn, and if you've got LinkedIn Learning, look up there to find the specifics on those areas and practice. And these are their partners, and that's it. So what I will be doing is I have already booked my GitHub Foundation certification. No surprise, the reduced rate of $200 down to $99 and then 50% off has flooded the exam booking system. So the earliest I can take it is beginning of February. I will be looking out for any earlier bookings, but during that time I will be doing live streams of me going through the Microsoft Learn content and doing the bits that are expected of me to understand, and then I will live checklist it and go through the content with anyone that's watching, and hopefully by the time I get to the exam and hopefully pass, review the exam and how the learning content reflects the actual exam itself. But other than that, thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe and leave a comment, especially for anyone that is interested in the live stream, to hit the notification button, because that will be available to anyone who wants to jump on and learn with me. But other than that, I'll see you next time.